Hello, my name's Rachel and I work for Step 2 Young People's Health. This video is about differences in sex development. Okay, so there are a few different meanings for DSD. Some people say differences in sex development, some say disorders of sex development, and some say diverse sex development. None of them are incorrect. It depends on where you are geographically, so some countries will use a different expression to others, but as long as you understand DSD, you should be able to find what you're looking for if you need to search for anything online. Some people also say variations in sex characteristics of VSC, and some people just prefer to use the term intersex. It's a little bit easier to say, it's a little less complicated, but some people would prefer that term. Now, before we continue, I'd like to make it very clear that I am a teacher. I am not a medical professional. Most of the information used in this PowerPoint is from the NHS website. So the NHS say that DSD is a group of rare genetic conditions involving genes, hormones and reproductive organs, including the genitals. It means a person's sex development is different to other people's. There's no clear reason why it happens, nobody knows. Some people will have sex chromosomes that are female, so that's the XX, or male, XY, but the genitals might look different to what is usually seen in that sex. It can happen because of a difference with your genes and how your body responds to the sex hormones in your body. In some people, it's both of those things. The most common time to find out that somebody has DSD is around birth or when they become a teenager and puberty is starting to kick in. Now, there are quite a few different types and I'm going to try and explain some of them to you. So 46XX, that is female chromosomes with ovaries and a womb, but the genitals might look different to how you might normally expect them to look. So the vagina might be closed, the clitoris could be extended. 46XY DSD is the opposite. You have male chromosomes, but the external genitals might look like the usual male or female. However, they might have a womb and testicles. They may not work properly. The scrotum might appear as two really small sacs, and the urethra might be in a different place. It could be under the penis if there is one. Some people might be born with genitals that look how we would expect, but the chromosomes follow an unusual pattern. They could be XO or they could be XXY. Remember, they're usually XX or XY. Because the genitals look so-called ordinary, it might not be noticed until puberty. They're unlikely to experience a full development. So all of the changes that happen to our bodies during puberty, somebody with the DSD might not experience all of those things. For example, girls might not start to have periods. In XXY, boys born with an extra chromosome, it means they don't produce the usual level of testosterone. They may not develop fully as a result. So that could be things like growth is not as developed as it would normally be in other boys. So they may not grow as quickly. They may not grow the same kind of body hair that other boys might grow. Muscles might not bulk out quite as much as they usually would. Some people are born with female genitals, but they've got an underdeveloped womb, or they don't have a womb, cervix and upper vagina at all. They'll not start to have periods. The vagina is often much shorter. In a very rare type of DSD, some people will have both ovarian and testicular tissue. External genitals might be male, female, or both. Mostly people will have female chromosomes, and that's known as 46XX ovotesticular DSD. You can, of course, find much more information about each of these online and through your doctor. I'm just giving a very, very simple overview of the different types of DSD. So there's always after birth checks for every child that's born. If the genitals look different to usual though, the doctors might test the baby straight away. There'll be physical exam, ultrasound scan, blood test. They're looking for the chromosomes. They're looking to see which organs are inside. Is there testes and a womb? Care teams will be put in place to help parents to understand baby's development and what to expect when they get older, and also how to explain it to them when they get older. There's loads of different support groups available, but it does kind of depend on which type of DSD you have. When you get support through the NHS, you'll speak to your doctor first. They'll refer you to the correct specialist team, and that specialist team will have the knowledge of which support groups might be best for you to join. There will be support groups for young people and also for parents. There are some examples of national support groups there if anybody chooses to look for them. Okay, so as I said, most of the information in those slides came from the NHS website. It was a very, very simplified view of what DSD is, and for the people who experience it, it's obviously an awful lot more complicated than that. There is support, advice and guidance about being intersex on the Stonewall website and what that might mean for people. Step 2, James and Hale are working in partnership to deliver relationships and sex education across the Bradford district as part of a Bradford Council contract. We are more than happy for people to get in touch with us to ask us questions. If we don't know the answers, we will find them and we will signpost you correctly. You can see all of the Step 2 social media handles there. We also have a newsletter which professionals can sign up to. And of course, there are lots of other videos on our YouTube channel. I've added a little bit there from Locala. This is mostly for sexual health support. However, young people who are going through puberty, who may be intersex but not potentially yet diagnosed, they may not understand why their body is different to other people. So you can always contact Locala as well. And again, if it's not the right place for that conversation, they will signpost you to the correct place. They are the one-stop shop for sexual health advice in Bradford. So they have lots of contacts and can help put you in touch with the correct people.